I'm your friendly neighborhood Web-Warrior Fanatic, and in this video, I'll be going over my top 10 favorite heroes to play in the Justice aspect in Marvel Champions. Usually, these heroes will really want to flip down or have some sort of synergy in the yellow aspect. This is just my personal opinion and my personal experience playing Marvel Champions, but for every single hero that I'm be talking about, I will have an example deck list, and I will put this deck list in the link of the description of this video for anyone to try these decks if you are interested in doing that. If you guys are enjoying my Marvel Champions content, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. But let's go ahead and jump into here with number 10 on this list, and that is Peter Parker Spider-Man. He is a classic in the core set with the Justice Precon because Spider-Man, he lacks thwarting because he has a thwart stat of just 1 here in his hero form. So Justice is really helping him out, add more thwarting into his kit. And one really big thing that I really want to access in Alter Ego with Peter Parker is, well, of course, we have Scientist, this resource ability in Alter Ego to generate that mental resource every single round if you can access your Alter Ego. But Aunt May, I still think, is probably one of the best cards in the entire game, Marvel Champions. Alter Ego action only, exhaust Aunt May to heal 4 damage from Peter Parker. This helps you leverage the entire game because you're able to take more damage on your hit points. As long as you're able to flip down, you can access Aunt May. She's only healing Peter Parker because she doesn't know who Spider-Man is, right? So if you can get the healing from Peter Parker, you can flip back up, fight another day. And yeah, I just love that. So the whole entire deck revolves around just helping him thwart more with Justice allies, with Beat Cops, which is an on-demand thwarting to help you remove threat from schemes even if you're in Alter Ego. And he can easily pay for it with his big economy. And then we have the Under Surveillance here to really increase the threat value of main schemes to allow the villain to scheme and still not cause the players to lose the game because you increase that threat threshold. So yeah, one of my favorite decks here. One of the first decks that I ever built for Mario Champions, but I love this deck. It's, you know, basically just the core set pre-con of Peter Parker Spider-Man, but like elevated at a much, you know, higher level to take down like every single villain in the game. I've used this deck against every single villain in the game. You know, Ronan the Accuser, Venom Goblin, Magneto, all in extra mode. I have all the playthroughs, and yeah, just a solid, sound deck, letting Peter Parker flip down to Alter Ego and do everything that he wants to do. Just kind of like a generic, universal type of deck that can take down all villains. Pretty standard here with our number 10 spot. Moving over to the number 9 spot, and this is going to be a more synergistic hero with like direct synergies with specific cards in a Justice aspect versus just wanting to flip down. So Thor here, you know, he doesn't really want to flip down as much as Peter Parker. With this deck, not really at all. Thor does get, you know, when he flips down, he can use his Alter Ego ability here. Worthy to search your deck and discard power for the immunity upgrade add to your hand. But with this deck here, we're not really talking about that because we want to stay up in hero form and trigger that hero ability, have ID after you engage a minion, draw 2 cards. And Justice has some really great ways to do that in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. wave. So the first card here is going to be Infiltration. It's a crazy card for Thor, who with this card, I think he becomes a thwarting machine here. So with Infiltration right here, it's a hero action for just a 1-cost event, super duper cheap. You choose a number from 1 to 5. We usually just choose 5. Discard that many cards on top of the encounter deck, and then remove a threat from a scheme for each card discarded this way. So if you choose 5, you're taking off 5 threat with a 1-cost event. That's great. Then you put 1 minion discard this way into play engage with you. There's no cost error for that part of the effect. So if you get no minions, you don't have to remove, or if you have no minions discarded, you don't have to get any minions engaged with you, which is awesome. But if you do get a minion, it's pretty good for Thor because happily you can draw 2 cards each time you engage a minion, you know, once per phase. So yeah, you can take off 5 threat with a 1-cost event and draw 2 cards, hopefully getting a weak minion that you can hopefully pick. Because hopefully you get like 2 minions and like one's weaker, one is strong, so you can pick that weaker one. So yeah, just a great card for Thor. And even if you get no minions, it's still really good to just Thor for 5 for just a 1-cost event. So super solid here. And you guys gotta know, I gotta talk about the Raft here. This is another amazing card here, Injustice for minions. So it's a 2-cost support, just staying in play. And as a response after minion leaves play, you can tuck it under here from the encounter discard pile. So kind of like jailing the minions here under the Raft prison here. And then you can remove threat from a scheme equal to the tuck minion's printed scheme, really helping Thor out with thwarting. If there are at least 4 minions here, you deal 1 random 1 to any player as a face down encounter card. So that will allow Thor to engage a minion during the next villain phase when you review the face down encounter cards, allowing him to trigger, have at the draw 2 cards, you know, once per phase. So that's just during the villain phase, but you can guarantee that with the Wrath. And during player phase, you can summon out a minion again with like Infiltration to summon the minion and draw more cards. You use Defender 9 rounds, summon the minion during player phase, draw more cards, or even like Fates to Pass, right? So many different ways for Thor to be drawing minions drawing cards for minions during the villain phase and during player phase. That's 4 cards during 1 round. Crazy good. So yeah, Thor has become a Thor machine here with these new Justice cards. Before, I would say Thor is one of the worst heroes for thwarting, but nowadays I think he's a Thor machine if you're playing him in Justice. And yeah, he just has really cool synergies with Justice with those cards there. So yeah, I really enjoy Thor in Justice. Let's hop on over to the number 8 deck here. And 8 hero that I like playing Justice, and that's going to be War Machine here. This is a float like a butterfly deck. This is pretty common. A lot of people know about this type of synergy with War Machine, but the way this works is that with float like a butterfly, 2-cost upgrade, whenever any character you control attacks a confused enemy, you can increase the amount of damage the attack deals to the enemy by 1. And the main synergy here with War Machine is that he's got his, it's going to be upgrade, so it's going to be his shoulder cannon right here. And you can exhaust shoulder cannon, deal damage to enemy. You may remove 1 ammo counter from War Machine to red shoulder cannon. So if you hypothetically have 20 ammo counters, you can do this 20 times, and each time you do it, you do 1 damage. But with your float like a butterfly, if the enemy is confused, you're doing 2 damage for each one instead of 1. So you can do tons of damage there, like 100 damage in a turn with this type of combo with War Machine boosting out your damage. And War Machine loves Justice because he's a hero that desperately needs to flip down. Flipping down is like everything for War Machine. In hero form, here's his response: lock and loaded. After you change to his form, you get 5 ammo counters on War Machine. But once you lose those counters, you can't really play any of your events because all War Machine's events have a secondary cost, right? You have the regular cost here, but you also have to remove ammo counters in order to play these events. So he runs out his counters in order to get back down or get those ammo counters back. It's a flip down and then flip back up to trigger your ability in hero form to get those ammo counters back up again. And one of the best cards with War Machine is going to be his Munitions Bunker. This is your only other way to really get those ammo counters. Exhaust it and place 2 ammo counters here, but only as an R2 action. So of course he wants to be in Justice. He wants to flip down a lot. He wants to confuse the villain so he can flip down to build these ammo counters, and then that's how you can build like 20 plus ammo counters for you to trigger the hero action to move each ammo counter over to War Machine, have all the counters on him, and he can pop out with float like a butterfly and that shoulder cannon combo. So this is a very popular strategy in Marvel Champions using War Machine. Really good strategy with him, and yeah, super solid. And of course he has the upgrade chassis here as well, which after you change the hero form, you exhaust it to get a tough status card. So just more reason for War Machine to flip down. He is a hero that definitely needs and wants to flip down in order to work out well. So we want cards like Professor X, giving a confusing a villain. We want cards like Dazzler, also confusing a villain, and like Blindfold for scrying to allow us to flip down safely. So yeah, just building Justice, allow War Machine to flip down and then pop off for tons of damage. I think that he's a great hero to play in the Justice aspect. Move over to the number 7 hero on this list, and that is going to be Jubilee here. So we have a deck that I named Rush Hour. This is kind of a meme deck, but I had a lot of fun playing this deck. So the main gimmick here is that you got the first ever player side scheme that did not have the victory keyword. So nowadays there are more side schemes that don't have that, but Jubilee was the first one to ever have this. So Shopping Spree is a 0-cost side scheme. It's a player side scheme, and after you clear off all the threat here, it goes in your discard pile, and you can basically keep on getting it back out over and over again throughout the course of the game. And then with Jubilee here, with her alter ego ability Mall Rat, you can search your deck for a Shopping Spree player side scheme and put it straight into play. So with this deck here, we have a bunch of these side schemes, and we have the Shopping Spree side scheme, and we want to clear off the side schemes and use Chance Encounter to constantly recur an ally. And the only ally I want to recur here is going to be Nick Fury. So we're just bringing him out over and over and over again with this deck, and he's going to just carry Jubilee to victory. So it's literally just Jubilee and Nick Fury. So that's why we call it Rush Hour here, because that's like the main combo with this deck. And we have the Beat Cops here, which allows us to remove threats even if we're in Alter Ego or in hero form from the Shopping Spree side scheme here, because with this card right here, threat cannot be removed from the scheme by heroes or allies. So Jubilee can only remove it through the Alter Ego action, or she can use a support like Beat Cop, which is not a hero or an ally, so you can use an alter ego or in hero form to take the threat off of the shopping spree side skill. And one really cool thing with this is that, you know, it's expensive, but Jubilee is also a great economy hero with her hero ability to generate a water resource if you exhaust her, and she's got all these double resources here going on as well. So yeah, I really enjoy just Jubilee, recurring Nick Fury over and over again, getting all of her stuff built out through recurring sides and just killing them, getting effects with like Skill Investigator to draw a card, and Chance Encounter to get an ally each time you defeat that side scheme. So yeah, a fun deck here with Jubilee that I like to play a lot. And oh, I forgot, Immune Education, you guys gotta use this card to recur and put the shopping spree side scheme back into your deck so you can bring it back out with Jubilee's alter ability, Mallrat. So that's how this deck works right here. Kind of a fun meme deck, but it is really powerful. It was able to take down Extra Venom Goblin and Extra Magneto, which I have the playthroughs right here on the channel. Let's move on to our top 6 Justice deck, and that's going to be Shield Babysits Groot. So it's Groot here in the Justice aspect, and this is one of my favorite aspects to play Groot in, because I just feel like he has more synergy with Shield than a lot of other heroes. So obviously you can play this type of Shield build with plenty of other heroes, but I think that Groot has some special things going on with it that really works out for him specifically. And that's the number one thing, is that, you know, Groot loves flipping down to alter ego, because the best card in his deck, in my opinion, is gonna be his Fertile Ground support. It's a 1-cost support, super cheap, and as an alter ego action, you can place a growth counter on Groot and draw a card. But also combined with the alter ego ability of Groot, Growth Spur, you place 2 growth counters on Groot. So that's how you build your growth counters on Groot, by being down in alter ego. And as a force interrupting hero form, when Groot take any amount of damage, you remove that amount of growth counters from him. So he's not taking a lot of damage, which means that all damage goes to him. So you can really keep in play these really powerful Shield allies that want to stay in play, like Agent 13, who is going to help Groot's economy a lot by writing a Shield support like the Helicarrier, and you got Dum Dum Dugan as well. So you don't really want these allies to chump block for you. Groot can actually soak the damage himself, so we don't have a lot of allies in this deck because Groot is very defensive if he can access his alter ego, and this will allow him to do that with all the Shield package stuff like Global Logistics to help you scry that encounter deck and know what's coming up, because if you use this card, you can exhaust any Shield card you control. Look at the top 4 cards of a player deck or the encounter deck, and you use this card any number of those, put the others back on top or bottom deck in an order, basically allowing you to fully manipulate that encounter deck to know that, okay, the next card will not be in advance and the boost card will be really low when the villain schemes, so I don't even need to confuse the villain. I just like know what's going to happen with this card, so that Groot can kind of flip down safely and just constantly build out those growth counters and trigger for a ground a lot and trigger his alter ego ability a lot. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Groot in Justice, and yeah, I think he works really well to just build out fully with those counters, and yeah, just being able to do his thing and take attacks to the face and not even take any damage. So yeah, big fan of Shield Groot Justice. The number 5 deck here that we got is going to be a Magneto deck called Magneto Was Right. It's similar to the Groot deck in that we really want to use Global Logistics. And the fun thing with this deck is that it really is Magneto being right, because with Global Logistics, and I mean, he's worked with Shield in comics, so it's not like a crazy theme thing for him, but you can scry the encounter deck so that, you know, Magneto is right. But once you build out, Magneto's a really strong hero, so he'll eventually have the breathing room for you to actually exhaust when you shoot supports to scry your own player deck. And I have this really cool thing right here. If you guys, let me show you guys how Magneto's hero ability works here first. So Magnetic Pull is the action. You just card cards on top of your deck until a magnetic card is discarded, and you add that card to your hand. So it's a great ability to get a card to your hand, but sometimes we're milling a lot more than what we want, and we want to mill specific things. Because of Magneto's armor here, if you mill like a specific resource icon, you get the corresponding stat. So with Magneto's armor, and with Global Logistics, you can look at the top 4 cards, and with this chart here, we can rearrange the ordering of the cards so that we can get specific mills from what we want, right? So for example, if like you have like these cards on top of your deck, we probably want to put like, and we have these cards like in player there, right? We put Blindfold there, right? Number 1, and we put Double Resource next, and then we put the Metal Shards next, and we put Utopia last, right? So that we can have something like, we can mill Blindfold, she gets this card, which is a physical resource, so that with the Magneto's armor, you get the kicker for the physical, and you also mill the Master Magician, which is a double resource, which is going to be an energy and a mental there. So then when you mill all 3 with Magneto's armor, you discard all 3 of the icons, so you get +1 to all your stats for the entire round. Then, with your hero ability, you discard that Master Magnetism, which is a Magneto card, a magnetic card. So you add that to your hand. So now you get a double to your hand, and you got the full kicker from the armor. And then, because you know what's coming up next, you can have Legion activate, discard that card because you know with the physical resource, Legion can heal 2 more damage for Legion if you need him to heal. You can pick whatever one you want and get the effect that you want off, because Magneto is right. He knows everything if you're using Go Logistics to manipulate your own player deck so that you're able to have everything work out with how you want with your hero ability. And obviously you can use your mansion to draw the last card if you want to add the Utopia to your hand, right? So just being able to know what's coming up in your player deck is really strong with Magneto to not mill all your best cards. And you get to see my players with Magneto, where when I don't have Global Logistics and I'm just like, playing Aggression or something, and I'm milling, I'll like toss my mansion, toss my Utopia, toss my X-Shed, all my favorite cards, toss Professor X, and I'd be like, dang it, where is that like magnetic card that I really want to get? So I stop milling from my deck, and that can be really bad times. So this is a way to help mitigate that. So yeah, I really like Manual Injustice for the theme and for the mechanics here as well. Moving over to our top 4 hero Injustice, that's gonna be a new hero, Tigra. And Tigra, I think she's really cool thematically in Justice with beat cops, because you guys all know that Gert Nelson is a cop, so working really well with that. And one super underrated thing with Tigra is that we all know her hero form is crazy with the economy, on the hunt, response after player phase begins. You can draw a card for each minute engaged with you to a max of 3. But in Alter Ego, you have a hand size of 6, which is good. And your action undercover work, you can search your deck and discard pile for a copy of Hunted as your hand. So it doesn't matter if it's in a deck or discard pile, you can always grab it. You have multiple copies of Hunted, so you're always like a 7 hand size hero in Alter Ego, which is really good. So it often gets overshadowed because she's such a great hero in hero form, drawing cards with the on the hunt. But her Alter Ego is very high economy as well. So beat cop, we want to include this with heroes that are rich, and she's another rich hero that can play the beat cops here. So beat cops thematically with Tigra is really, really good because you are you're to pay for it, and then it's helping her thwart, and she has only a thwart stat of 1 here in hero form, so having an extra threat move on the table is really good. Synergizes with Precinct HQ, another or this one is RTU action. Exhaust to remove 1 threat from a scheme, remove 1 additional threat for each man engaged with you. So similar to a beat cop, it's like kind of like a better or worse beat cop depending on how many minions that you have with you. But yeah, she already has that type of beat cop card in her kit. But the other really, really cool thing with beat cops is that, let's say you have 3 copies of the Hunted on the field and you have 3 minions engaged with them and you're ready for that final burst turn. So beat cop has a secondary effect here where you can exhaust and discard beat cop to deal 1 damage to a minion for each threat on here. So you can KO minions with the beat cops. And if you grab out 3 minions with the Hunted here, which you can easily tutor with their Alter Ego ability, so you're going to be able to play Hunted like all the time. As interrupt, when attached minions is defeated, you can ready up Tigra. So for that final push, you got the 3 minions with Hunted, you can beat cop and kill each one of them, and then Tigra gets ready for each one to swing harder at the villain, which is just tons of damage on that final push. So yeah, I really, really like Tigra in Justice. You also have arrows here who can confuse the minions as well. So when you flip down, the minions aren't scheming on you. So yeah, Justice has a lot of cool minion synergy, and that works really well here with Tigra. Definitely loving undercover Tigra beat cop deck here for her in Justice. Let's move on to our third favorite hero to play in the Justice aspect in Marvel Champions, and that's going to be Black Panther Shuri. And we have Panther Tenacity here. And I love any deck that works out with Tenacity here. So this is actually a mostly basic deck. So we have 2 copies of the power in all of us because we want to synergize with cards like Tenacity. But another cool like basic card that works well in this deck because it's Justice is the Ready Rumble here, right? We want to flip down a lot with Shuri because Shuri, with her hero ability here, each time you use a base power, you can resolve a special of a Black Panther upgrade that you control. So she wants to ready up a lot and exhaust using her basic powers to share these Black Panther specials. But her Alter Ego ability is one of the best Alter Ego abilities in the game. Inventor, you can exhaust her Search your deck for any Black Panther or a tech upgrade and play it, reducing its cost by 2, limit once per round. So you can tutor sawing rifles from your deck and just pay 1 cost for it instead of 3 because it is a tech upgrade here. You just play down table, have all these on-demand confuses for the villain, so you can flip down and then you have your ready to rumbles as your essential way to ready up because you're always flipping down, flipping back up to hero form, so you get to ready up when you flip up to hero form right after using your RT ability that exhausts you. And then with Tenacity here, it's going to be super easy for Shuri to pay for it because she's super rich and you can spend a physical resource on demand to ready up even further if you need to do more activations up in hero form. So yeah, I love any deck that works all with Tenacity. Shuri loves flipping down because similar to Peter Parker Spider-Man, she's got Queen Ramonda, which is the same level of Aunt May, being able to huge damage from Alter Ego with the Recon trait, equals to Alter Ego's recovery. Shuri's got 4 recovery, so you can't see here. In her alter ego here, she's got the 4 recovery, so she's able to heal for 4 with Kumanda, just like how Aunt May can heal Peter Parker for 4. So you can leverage your hit points, your 11 hit points as a resource, take a lot of damage, easily flip back up, heal, or flip down, heal, flip back up, be at full life, and get back into game. So yeah, big fan of Shuri Injustice. Also, we also got the Flow Like Butterfly because she has so many ways to confuse in her kit with the sonic rifles, but also with her upgrade here. It's going to be the Kimoyo Beats. It's her upgrade. Remove 1 thing from scheme. You may discard this card to confuse enemies. So you trigger this with like your basic activation or any of your other Shuri cards. You can also confuse the villain. And then Flow Like a Butterfly will help you do additional damage to any confused enemy. So a lot of cool synergies here on Injustice with Shuri because she wants to flip down a lot and she really unleashes whenever you're flipping down with her. So big fan of Shuri Injustice. Okay, let's go over to our second favorite hero to play in the Justice aspect, and that's going to be Maria Hill. And Maria Hill, she is one of those heroes that I think you just have to play Injustice. I mean, obviously she's good in every aspect because of her deck building ability. That you can include the max number of shield supports in your deck from aspects other than your chosen aspect. So obviously she's good in every single aspect. But I think the most important card for her, and you can include it in any aspect, but Feud Agent just pops the heck off with Maria Hill. It's like designed for her, and it's crazy because this card was created so much before Maria Hill came out. But it's a 1-cost support, comes in with 3 counters. So being a cheap support is already so good for her because you can move those counters on other supports with her hero ability here, action reassignment, move 1 all-purpose counter from shoot support to another shoot support. So that's great because you can put a counter from the 1-cost shoot support here, Feud Agent, move it over to like, I don't know, a 6-cost shoot support like the Bellerophon, for example. So it's much more value when you're moving that. So you always want to get these Feud Agents down. But the other effect here is that when a shoot ally would take any amount of consequent damage, exhaust to shoot a Feud Agent and remove a backup counter from it to prevent 1 of the damage. Well, that's so good here with Maria Hill because she makes every single ally you control gain the shoot trait. So all of your allies, you can keep in play forever with Feud Agents. Just tons of synergy there, but playing her Injustice also allows to include global logistics, allowing her to scry the encounter deck, player deck, get what you need, prevent the villain from getting whatever they need, and you have so many shoot cards in her kit and in the shoot support that you are basically including with her, all of your games, to where you'll always be able to scry and just look at whatever you need to get. So yeah, I really like Justice with her, flipping down a lot, triggering the alter ego action here to exhaust Maria Hill. Search your deck for any shoot support as your hand. There's a lot of cool shoot things going on. So I think the shoot package Injustice with all the Justice cards like Under Surveillance, allowing you to increase the target threat value of the main schemes, allowing you to beat down alter ego more often. I think that works really well with Maria Hill. So big fan of her in Justice. And finally, my favorite hero to play in the Justice aspect. I think you guys probably already know this, but it's going to be Cable here with one of my favorite decks all time. I love Spider-Man, and this deck is all about the Peter Parker Spider-Man ally that we got right here. It's a 5-cost ally, 2 Thor, 2 attack, 4 hit points, so one of the most expensive cards in the game of Marvel Champions. A response after you play Spider-Man from your hand, remove 3 per player threat from a side scheme. So in solo, it's only taking off 3 threat. But in 4 players, when you play Spider-Man, you're taking off 12 threat from a side scheme, which is crazy. This deck was originally made for multiplayer, so we got like 2 copies of Skilled Investigator here. It worked for 3 players and 4 players too, but we're not going to give everyone a Skilled Investigator, just like one other person in Cable, right? We're not that nice. We got to be a little bit selfish here as Cable as well. But yeah, I just love the chance encounters with Cable because he's got all these side schemes. Each time you defeat one, you use a chance encounter to grab any ally, this ally lineup here, whichever one fits best in your specific situation. If you need scrying, you grab Blindfold. If you need Nick Fury for like whatever situation, like card draw, you just draw Nick Fury. Or if you're playing at a 4-player game and you need like a big ally that can just like destroy a side scheme, taking off 12 threat, then you grab Peter Parker Spider-Man. And I played him even in True Soul against Ronan, where he is putting in work. So yeah, this is like, I mean, Cable, Injustice. I mean, there's just so many synergies here that we can talk about. After he defeats the side scheme, you ready him. So obviously, we want to give him Heroic Intuition to give him +1 thwart. When it's at 3 thwart in True Soul, he's able to pop all these 3 pro player threat side schemes in one shot, easily killing them. You can ready Cable when you defeat the side scheme. All the side scheme synergies here. After the side scheme defeated, you can draw a card with Good Investigator. Yeah, Justice is the side scheme aspect, and Cable is the side scheme hero. So they're obviously going to be a perfect fit right here. Yeah, just in my opinion, the strongest deck that I've ever built here, and it's a Justice deck here for Cable, just destroying threat. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple here how Cable works. There is a lot of new changes that I've made to the deck here as we got newer cards. Like we got the new Gambit ally. We got all these newer player side schemes like Keep the Pressure, Generation X, and Going Undercover. So yeah, these are some really cool cards with Cable, and I highly recommend some Justice Cable if you have not played that already. But yeah, that is going to round out my top 10 favorite heroes to play in the Justice aspect. I do want to give a short honorable mention to Scarlet Witch Turbo Draw. I know that a lot of people love that deck for Wanda. I think it's a great deck. It's not gonna have like the particular just synergy that I want, like helping her flip down to Alter Ego, because a lot of heroes want to flip down to Alter Ego, and I don't think Scarlet Witch cares as much about that, even though she does have Agatha, which is good with that. And the other stuff isn't like direct synergy that I want to see from Justice. So like these heroes in my top 10 list have like either more direct synergy with Justice or like really big synergy with wanting to flip down, and that's why they made it here in the top 10. But yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Let me know down in comments which heroes that you agree with, and let me know which heroes that I left out from this list that you think are really great heroes to play in the Justice aspect. I hope you guys all like this one, and I'll see you guys all in the next video.